Vanakkam and Namaskar to all, and my pranams and heartfelt thanks to Sangam Talks, the faculty, staffs, and management of Sangam Talks, and the founder who is attending this session, and also the eminent personalities and scholars who are listening my lecture. In this session, I am going to narrate about the date of Mahabharata, or the second part. In the first part, I covered the introduction, that is how Mahabharata is a history, and what are all the scientific fields that help us to derive the exact date of Mahabharata, that is literature, chronology, epigraphy, archaeology, and astronomy. And I explained the 36 plus years of difference from Mahabharata to Kali Yuga beginning, and also I expressed the 26 points, important points, astronomical events described by Vedavyasa in his text of Mahabharata. In this session, I am going to narrate what is the method I am adopting to derive the date. In this, I am adopting the method. I have been introduced. These are my contact numbers, no necessary to repeat. These narrations are based on these two books available in Amazon.in. And what the method I adopted is the 6 calculations, mathematical and astronomical trigonometric calculations that were detailed in the ancient astronomical texts of our nation. That is Aryabhattiyam, Surya Siddhanta, Lahu and Mahabhaskariyam, Siddhanta Shiromani, Brahmaspuda Siddhanta, Vadeswara Siddhanta, Sisyadi Viruddha Tantra, many ancient texts I adopted. So they describe these methods to calculate the positions of the Graha for any date, either today, present, or in future, or in past also. So they adopted that method, and it is scientific because you can repeat it and verify it, and it is well established because our nation used it more than thousands and thousands of years, and it gave accurate results. Based on that only we conducted yajna and other auspicious things. So that is well established, scientific, and accurate. So I have adopted that method. So far, nobody has tried this method. I am the only person tried. First step is Agargana calculation. What do you mean by Agargana? Agaha is day, or Dyu is day. Dyu can mean sky also. Here it means day. Gana means the total number, the collection of number. So total number of days from which date? From the epochal date. That is the reference date, at which the ancient astronomical text will give the mean positions of the Graha. So that is the reference point. The mean positions of the Graha at sunrise at Ujjain they will give. That is the reference date. And to record date, any date in the present, future, and past. On which day we want the Graha position, we can calculate number of days that were elapsed. The difference between these two reference points and requirement point, how many days are completed. That is the calculation, Agargana calculation. So these are all the 6 steps. I need not explain. This is an important 2 calculations to derive Agargana. These 2 important calculations. These are all described in the ancient astronomical text. And based on that, we can derive the Madhya position, mean positions of the Graha at the record date. On which date we want the Graha position. That we can do derivation of Madhya or mean positions of the Graha. Here the astronomical constants are used. That is the number of revolutions of a Graha in a Mahayuga. It varies. For example, Sun is 43,20,000. Like that everything varies. For Moon, Jupiter, everything varies. The total number of revolutions of Graha in a Mahayuga. And we have to multiply it with the Agargana divided by the total days in Mahayuga. Mahayuga is 43,20,000 years. That is a constant. Based on that, we can derive the mean positions of the Graha, all Navagraha, at a record date. Any date, in future, present, or past, any date. And after deriving the mean positions of the Graha for that particular date, which we want the Graha positions, then we have to apply 4 corrections. One is Desandra correction. This is the formula for Desandra correction. Why Desandra correction is applied? Because in ancient days, the reference point, the prime meridian, we should be proud. It is Ujjain Rekha in Bharat only. Only in the year 1884, it was changed to Greenwich. Till then, Ujjain is the prime meridian and reference point of longitude for the entire world. So, in the ancient astronomical texts of our nation, Bharat, the prime meridian was Ujjain Rekha. So, the Graha positions will be mentioned with reference to Ujjain only, because that is the prime meridian. These texts will give the prime reference Madhya position of the Graha at Ujjain at 5:30 a.m. or at sunrise. We can say sunrise. But what it is there, Karna explained the Graha position to Sri Krishna, and Vyasa explained omens, bad omens and Graha positions, occurrence of eclipses to Dhritarashtra, both at Hastinapura. So we need the Graha positions at Hastinapura. So we have to do longitude correction. Desandra correction is longitude correction. Why? Because this is the Ujjain Rekha, and Hastinapura is 2 degree 25 minutes east of this Ujjain Rekha. Hastinapura will be here. So 2 degree 25. That is 1 degree is almost 110 kilometer. So it may be 250 kilometers away from the Ujjain Rekha. So we recorded the Graha positions for Hastinapura. So we have to do Desandra correction. Since our ancient astronomical texts mentioned Desandra correction, what we infer from that is even Surya Siddhanta mentioned. So even before 10,000 years before present, our ancestors knew longitude, latitude on Dirgha Akshareka and Jakarapi. So we should understand that also. It is a byproduct of this lecture. So we should be proud of our ancestors, proud of our nation. And the second correction is Manda correction. What do you mean by Manda correction? I will explain. This is the formula for steps to correct Manda correction. Here you see one thing is R sin M, R sin theta. Immediately we will have a doubt. How sin theta is a modern thing, modern mathematics? How our ancient texts mention this? We will have a doubt. But there are evidence in Aryabhattiyam, in Surya Siddhanta, in Lakhu and Mahabhaskariyam, Vadeswara Siddhanta. These sin theta values were given at the multiples of 3 degree 45 minute to 90 degree. Total 24 values are given. So it is almost accurate to the modern value. That also we should understand. Okay. In Surya Siddhanta given, Aryabhatta and many texts given. And they give value of Ardhajya, that is the sin theta for 90 degrees, 3438. The modern value is also like that. Why 3438? It is the length of the chord of an arc of a circle or string of a bow, that I will explain later, and will be equal to the radius of the circle. See, a circle has circumference, and it is 360 degrees. So what is the formula for circumference? It is 2 pi r. We learned in school. So for r, if you divide 360 by 2 pi, it will give 3438 minute. You can try it. You can calculate. So our ancestors knew all these things in the remote past itself. That we should understand. Then why we have to do Manda correction? Why our ancestors applied this? Because they know astronomy better than us. That is the thing. See, this is Earth. This is Sun. Earth is revolving around the Sun in an elliptical circle, not in an exact circle. Nicholas Copernicus mentioned only even in 1500 BC, 500 years before, exact circle. He don't know. Europeans don't know that even in 500 AD, 1500 AD, 500 years before. But our ancestors knew this fact, astronomical fact, some 10,000 years before itself. That's why they applied Manda correction. So it is not circular, it is elliptical. Besides, Sun is not at center. You see, Sun should be here, but it is just away from this. So there are 2 points, perihelion and apohelion. Perihelion is a point where Earth will be very nearer to Sun, and apohelion is a point where Earth will be far away from Sun. Why we have to calculate this? Because in perihelion, the angular velocity, there is a two type of velocity for every celestial object. One is linear velocity. That is how many kilometers it revolve per day. That is linear velocity. That will be constant. But angular velocity will deviate, will change, whether it is in perihelion or apohelion. In perihelion, the angular velocity will be more. In apohelion, angular velocity will be less. So that is why we have called it as Manda, Manda Utsa. This is Manda Nicha. Manda means slow, Utsa means high. So here the slow is high, Manda Utsa. This is Manda Nicha. Nicha means less. So for that we are doing Manda correction. Okay. So these two as important astronomical fact, truth, point, scientific aspect were well known to our ancestors in the remotest antiquity itself. That we have to understand. So we are applying, due to eccentricity of the sun and elliptical orbit of the earth, we are applying Manda correction. And the next is Shigra correction, third correction, and fifth step. These are all the 8 steps to get Shigra correction. Here I have expressed Dopada, Kodipada, Spuda Kodi, and Shigra Karna. That I will explain later. So this is the 8th step to get the Shigra correction. Why Shigra correction has to be done? So here also you can understand the brilliance, knowledge, wisdom of our ancestors. So Shigra correction is nothing but the annual parallax correction for Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars, because they will revolve around the sun outside Earth's orbit. You can see that this is Earth. Earth is revolving around the sun like this, and Mercury and Venus are within the orbit of the Earth. So Earth not only revolves around the sun, it revolves around Mercury and Venus also. But this Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, they will revolve around the sun outside the Earth's orbit. So this annual parallax correction should be done for Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. Suppose in the Chaitra month, first month of the year, the Earth is here, Sun is here. If we see Jupiter or Saturn or Mars here, we will see that it is here. Apparently, it will be here. Exactly, it is here, but we will think that it is here. But after 6 months, in Asvayuja month, Earth revolves 180 degree and it comes here. And the same Jupiter or Saturn or Mars will be looked like here. So there is a difference of this much. Not this much, minute value only be there, because this is very small area. When we compare Jupiter and Saturn from Mars, from Earth, it will be huge. So minute, maybe slightly 1 or 2 degree. So for that we have to correct. Even that minute thing as corrected by our ancestors by using Shigrapada. You can see this. The sun is well above the tip of the pillar. But on the reflection in the water, you can see the sun is exactly at the pillar. This is the annual parallax, and we have to correct. This is a parallax of error, and this is annual parallax, and we have to correct it. This is for Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. And for Mercury and Venus, because I explained Mercury and Venus are revolving around the sun within the Earth. This is Earth, this is Venus, this is Mercury, this is Sun. Mercury and Venus revolve around the sun within the Earth's orbit. So when Mercury and Venus, if they are situated here or here or here or here, they will be in the exact same longitude with Sun. They will be in conjunction with Sun. Suppose Mercury is here or here, the longitude will differ. So there will be elongation. If Venus is either here or here, there will be elongation. So that should be corrected. So our ancestors adopted 2 methods, one for Mercury and Venus and one for Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, because they know the arrangement of Graha position in the solar system. They clearly know that Mercury and Venus are revolving around within Earth's orbit and Jupiter, Saturn, Mars outside the orbit. That's why they adopted 2 types of calculation for Shigra correction. So that much knowledge and wisdom was there in the ancient past of our nation. We should be proud of our nation. And now this is Sigrapala correction for Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn and Mars. From where this sin theta and value came? I have explained it is given in ancient astronomical texts. How they derived, how they imagined, how they bring it into reality. You see, this is a bow. This is arrow. This is string of the bow. Bow is called in Sanskrit Dhanush. Arrow will be called as Sara or Bhana, not Bhana. And this is card of the arc will be called as Jya or Dhanu Guna. This is card. So this bow, arrow and card will be there in our nation since remotest antiquity. Because Dhanurveda is one of the Upaveda. And Dhanur Samhita was written by none other than the Vashishta himself. And you know, the first kavya of the world, Ramayana, it mentions that Rama married Sita Mata by stringing the Shiva Dhanush, that is Pinaka. Okay, he broke it away in the Janaka palace. Okay, that we know. So even in Ramayana, Dhanush is mentioned. It is not only that Parasurama gave the Vishnu Dhanush, Charanga to Sri Rama, meeting him. Okay, there is Charanga Pani, Vishnu, Pinaka Pani. Pinaka Pani is Shiva, who is holding that Shiva Dhanush. Charanga Pani is Vishnu, who is holding Vishnu Dhanush. So this Dhanush is has the remotest antiquity, and there are historical evidence that it originated from Bharat only. So you can see that when this arrow is like this, but when we want to release the arrow, we have to give pressure to it. We have to give force to it. So we are pulling the cord behind. So this, like this, we are pulling. This is the cord or the bow, and we are pulling behind. So the arrow will be fitted here. It is ready to release. So you can see this is the radius. If we exactly transfer this figure into a circle, this pictorial replica, if we apply it to a circle, what will happen? You can see this is the bow. You see, this is the bow. Okay, same, this is the bow. This is an arc of a circle. Okay, this is the cord of the circle. This is the string of the bow. This is cord of the circle, arc of the circle. If this is the cord of this arc of the circle, and this is the string of the bow. And if this cord is pulled back to the center of the circle, this will be one radius, this will be one radius, and this will be another radius will be arrow. You can imagine if we paste this picture, Dhanush with arrow and cord on the circle, it will be like this. And if you see, this is a triangle. So this is known as Jya. The cord is known as, the string of the bow is known as Jya or Dhanurguna. So this is Ardha Jya. And later on we use it as Jya itself. And this is radius, this is hypotenuse of the triangle. This is the right angle. And this is Kodi Jya. And this is Utkarama Jya. Utkarama Jya is R into 1 minus cos theta. This is cos theta. This is sin theta, because the sin theta is here, opposite side divided by hypotenuse is the sin theta. If the base is divided by hypotenuse, that is this angle will be the cos theta. So this cos theta, sin theta and Utkarama Jaya, that is versine theta, all were known in our nation, and it was developed from the exact replica of the pictorial replica of the Dhanush. So we know where it is originated. So that's why this sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, we can definitely say that it has originated in India. Why our ancestors developed this calculation? Because they want to derive the exact position of the graha and to find out auspicious time to do auspicious things. That is the purpose. So this is a triangle, right angle triangle, and there are 3 angles on this. So 3 angle, 3 Kona. Kona is angle. Midi is measurement. So we are measuring the value of this 3 kona. So Tirikona Midi. It becomes trigonometry in English. You can understand from where it originated, where it went. So we contributed much to the mathematical calculations of the world. World is totally drifted to India. So this is why what I Dopada is result of the base sine of the right angle triangle. This is the base. This is hypotenuse. The angle between this is the sine theta. So this is Dopada. And Kodipada is the result of perpendicular sine of the right angle triangle. This is perpendicular, this is hypotenuse, this is the angle, so cos theta. And Spuda Kodi is either we have to add Kodipada to 3438 or subtract it. In the first and fourth quadrant, if the Graha is here, first quadrant and fourth quadrant, we have to add. In the second and third quadrant, we have to reduce it, subtract it for Mercury and Venus. And Sigra Karna is nothing but the hypotenuse. So this is the basic of the calculation. So now coming to the next step. For sun and moon, we have to do only Manda correction. Why we are doing only Manda correction? Because moon has only one revolution around the earth. And sun has no revolution, but the earth's revolution is imposed on the sun, and it is an apparent revolution of the sun, and sun has only one revolution. So for them, only Manda correction is sufficient. For other Graha, that is Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, we have to apply both Manda correction and Shigra correction. And we have to apply these 4 procedures. And value got after the 4 procedures is P4. That is the value. But P4 is not the exact positions of the Graha. We have to do another correction, that is Bhujandhara correction. What is the Bhujandhara correction? Why we have to apply? Because true midnight differs from mean midnight. Why it differs? Again, sun is not at the center. So equation of time. And this ecliptic is at an angle with the celestial equator. Celestial equator, nothing but the extension of Earth's equator into celestial space. So, because Earth is tilted by 23 degree 27 minute as per present value, it is not like this. It is tilted. So, celestial equator will be like this, and ecliptic will be like this. Ecliptic will be in horizontal. This here I represented ulta. But ecliptic will be in horizontal, but Earth is tilted like that. So celestial equator will be like that. So there will be an angle of 23 degree 27 minute. So because of that, the true midnight differs from the mean midnight. So we have to do Bhujandhara correction, that is equation of time correction, to derive the exact positions of the Graha. By using all these 6 procedures and 4 corrections, we can derive, anybody can derive, not only me, anybody can derive the exact positions of the Graha on the record date, either present, future, or past. Then in Akargana, I have told some reference point, reference day. What is the reference day? I have chosen that I have to explain. That is Saitraman Sukla Prathama Tithi at sunrise. That is first day sunrise of the year 1442 Salivagana Saka. The reference longitude is that of Ujjain. Where I got the value, all these things, it is from an ancient astronomical text, that is Giragala Agavam, written by Ganesha Daivagnya in the year 1442 Salivagana. That is 500 years before present. That book is available, and we can verify in the 4th and 8th sloka of the first Adhikara, everything is given. I converted the value into a table form. So for this sun on that day, that is on 1442 Salivagana Saga, at Ujjain at sunrise and Sukla Prathamatithi Saitra month, the first day of that year, the sun value is 349 and 41, 349 degree and 41 Kala. For Jupiter, 41 minute. Kala is the Sanskrit, Amsa is the Sanskrit, and Kala is Sanskrit. Jupiter is 212 Amsa, that is degree, and 16 minute, that is Kala. For Mercury and Venus, they are using Sigragandra because they revolve around the sun within the orbit of Earth. So this is the value. This is the reference point I have used. Based on that, I have did a calculation, and 2 points I remember that Sri Krishna mentioned Karna that the 7th day will be Amavasya at Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So Amavasya at Jyeshtha Nakshatra means sun and moon will be in Jyeshtha. So sun definitely in Jyeshtha Nakshatra only. And Karna and Vedavyasa mentioned Rahu is approaching sun. Rahur Arkam Upaiticha. That is the word they use. So Rahu is approaching sun. There definitely there is Rahu Grasta solar eclipse. So Rahu should be either at Jyeshtha Nakshatra or very nearer to Jyeshtha Nakshatra, either this side or that side. Why? Because the difference of longitude between sun and Rahu should be within 15.4 degree. Then only the solar eclipse will occur. If it is less than 18.4 degree, then partial solar eclipse. So sun and Rahu should be very adjacent. Then only eclipse can occur. That I will explain why Rahu is important in eclipse and when I come later. So Rahu should be in Jyeshtha or very nearer to Jyeshtha. From these 2 points, we come to that conclusion. So I took years in which Rahu is at Jyeshtha or very nearer to Jyeshtha. I picked up all that years alone. After that, the second step is the position of sun and moon on Kartika Amavasya day. It occurred on Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So sun and moon should be in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. For example, Kartika Amavasya can occur in Visakha Nakshatra, Anuradha Nakshatra and Jyeshtha Nakshatra also. But specifically, Sri Krishna mentioned Sakkara Devatam. So it is Sakkara Amavasya. So it is definitely Amavasya and Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So in what are all the years in which Rahu is at or near Jyeshtha, when sun and moon is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. That years alone I took. So the number of years reduced. And after that, I assessed the positions of other graha, that is Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Mars and Jupiter. And also I assessed the possibility of solar eclipse on that day and lunar eclipse 13 days prior to that Kartika Amavasya. So if I analyzed all the years and which year satisfy all these things, the 26 astronomical events that were narrated by Vedavyasa, I took that year as the year of Mahabharata war. I analyzed for total of 2301 years, 4301 BC to 2000 BCE, and I have found out the result. Before explaining my result, 3 points I have to explain so that we can understand the result better. One is all graha will give 3 drishtis, graha drishti and rasi, zodiac drishti, rasi drishti and nakshatra drishti. What it is meant, then if we understand only, we can understand my result. So the graha that revolve around the sun within Earth's orbit around the sun, that is Mercury and Venus, and the graha which have only one motion, that is sun and moon, will have only one drishti, one view, one aspect, that they will see the rasi or graha situating exactly opposite. There are 12 zodiac signs. So if the graha is situated in the first zodiac sign, 7th will be the opposite. We can see the person who is standing in front of us very clearly. So only this graha will have 7th drishti alone. That we should understand. But whereas the graha that revolve around the sun outside the Earth's orbit around the sun, that is Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, will have multiple drishti. For example, Mars will have 4th, 7th and 8th drishti. So if Mars is situated in the first zodiac sign, it will aspect the graha which are situated in the 4th zodiac sign, 7th zodiac sign and 8th zodiac sign. Jupiter 5th, 7th, 9th and Saturn 3, 7, 10. All these are astrology. So without knowing astrology, we cannot derive the date of Mahabharata. We should know geography, we should know history, we should know astronomy, we should know astrology, we should know Sanskrit, we should know mathematics, and we should know culture, we should know tradition of this land. Then only we can derive. That much involvement should be there. And I have to explain Rahu and Ketu. Why Rahu and Ketu didn't have any aspect? Most of the texts itself, they have no aspect or no drishti. Why? Because Rahu and Ketu are shadow graha. They are imaginary points. imaginary cutting points at the sky. Where it is situated? From Earth, it is 3,84,400 kilometers away from us. It is an imaginary point on the sky. But our ancestors knew it. Not only knowing that, they know the velocity of that point, at what rate it revolves, and in which direction it revolves. It revolves in the backward direction, and 18.5 years is for one complete revolution. So, your imaginary point situated in a celestial sky, that is 3,84,400 kilometers away from Earth, that was exactly assessed by our ancestors. Surya Siddhanta mentioned. So, more than 10,000 years itself, we know it. So, because they are shadow graha, they have no form or drishti, they have no drishti, no form and no shape. So, they have no drishti. Further, why it is connected with eclipse? Why Rahu Arkam Upaidisa? Rahu if approaches one, why I derive that it solar eclipse will come? That I have to explain now. Otherwise, how can you believe? See, for example, one object is, it should be eclipsed from the source of light. The source of light and objecting object and obstructed object, all three should be in the same vertical line. Not only that, in a horizontal line also. You can imagine, if you have in the house, you can have a source of light, and in between you keep an object and the obstructing object and obstructed object. If you place it exactly in the vertical position and exactly in the horizontal, then only it will be obstructed. You can test it in yourself. So this horizontal vertical position will be satisfied only in Amavasya and Paurnami. That's why solar eclipse occurs in Amavasya, lunar eclipse occurs in Paurnami. That you can easily understand. Then why Rahu and Ketu here? Because you see, this earth is revolving around the sun in one horizontal plane. This moon is revolving around the earth in another plane. It is not in the same horizontal plane. It is tilted like that. That is 5.15 degree. If we keep two bangles or two large rings, circular rings, one above the other, it will not cut. Suppose if you tilt one bangle or one circular ring, both ring will cut at two places. Now, Earth's orbit is in one plane, Moon's orbit is in another plane. It is tilted. So, Moon's orbit will cut Earth's orbital plane at 2 points at horizontal level. So, that is Rahu and Ketu. So, Rahu and Ketu are scientific, not unscientific. Our ancestors have developed only scientific. The modern terminology is nodes of Moon, ascending node of Moon, descending node of Moon. What do you mean by ascending? Ascending node of Moon is Rahu, because Moon travels up or north. Moon travels down or south is Ketu. So this is ascending node of Moon is Rahu and descending node of Moon is Ketu. Why it is linked to Grahana? Because Rahu and Ketu are situated in the same horizontal plane of Earth and Sun. Moon only going up and down. So Moon when come to either nearer to Rahu and Ketu, then only Moon will be in the horizontal plane. Then only the second condition will be satisfied. Otherwise, if the Moon is away from Rahu or Ketu, the second condition, horizontal plane condition, will not be satisfied and there won't be any eclipse. That's why Rahu and Ketu are connected with the eclipse. It is also scientific. That's why Rahu Arkam Upaidisa, when I say it is solar eclipse, that it is scientific only. Now, this is told zodiac signs, Mesa, Rishabha, Mithuna. And Parasara, in his Brigat Parasara Hora Sastra, he divided into 3 rasis: Chara Rasi, Sthira Rasi, Upaya Rasi. Mesa, Karkadahar, Chara Rasi, Rishabha, Simha, and etc. Sthira Rasi. Mithuna, Kanyar, Upaya Rasi. That is, these Upaya Rasis are at the 4 corners. The first Rasi is Chara Rasi. Chara is moving, Sthira is stable. Upaya, it move and also stable. So this Graha in this Chara Rasi will aspect the Graha in Sthira Rasi, that is Simha, Vrishchiga and Kumbha. Not Rishabha, because adjacent Rasi cannot be aspected. I cannot turn this side to view person. So I can easily see this thing. Like that, Sthira Rasi also like that. Like Upaya Rasi will aspect another, all 3. So this we should understand. Any Sararasi Graha will aspect Sirarasi except adjacent. Sirarasi will aspect the Graha in Sararasi except the adjacent. That we should understand. That is important point. And third is Nakshatra Drishti. Kumaraswamyam is a very ancient Tamil Jyotisha text. It explains Nakshatra Drishti. That is, all Graha will have Nakshatra Drishti. For example, Mars has 3, 15, 7, 8 Nakshatra Drishti. What do you mean by? If Mars is at Ashwini in the first Nakshatra, it will aspect and cruelly affect the 3rd, 7, 8 and 15th Nakshatra. So this Nakshatra Drishti. We should understand all these things before deriving the result. So with these 3 points introduction, I will go for the result. In the 42nd year before Kali Yuga beginning, that is 5163 years before present, that is 3143 BCE, on the Kartika Amavasya day, what are the positions of the Graha as per my calculations? How it will satisfy all the points, astronomical points narrated by Vedavyasa. That I will show. First, Sun. Sun is, as per my calculations, on this Kartika Amavasya day at the 42nd year before Kali Yuga, it is 2:35 degree 11 minute. So it is definitely in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Jyeshtha is the range. So it is Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So it's satisfied. And it has 7th Drishti. So Rohini Nakshatra is in 7th, exact. This is Vrichika. If you count, this is as first, this is 7th. So Rohini Nakshatra is exactly opposite. So Sun can aspect Rohini Nakshatra. So that is satisfied. Moon is also in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. 2:29 degree 45 minutes. So definitely Sun and Moon are in conjunction. So there is Amavasya. So that is also satisfied. And the Amavasya is at Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Sri Krishna words also satisfied. And Moon has 7th Drishti at Rohini. So that is also satisfied. You see, Moon is at Jyeshtha Nakshatra and it aspects Rohini Nakshatra. Exactly opposite. So all these points are satisfied. Second and third point are satisfied. Amavasya at Jyeshtha Nakshatra and Sun and Moon aspecting Rohini Nakshatra. So that is satisfied. Now coming to the Rahu. Rahu is at 2:34 degree 11 minutes as per my calculation on 42nd year before Kali Yuga on Kartika Amavasya day at sunrise at Hastinapura. So it is at Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So definitely Rahu is very close to Sun. There will occur solar eclipse. So that point is satisfied. Ketu is 180 degree apart and 54 degree 11 minutes in Mrigashirsha and Vrishabha Rasi. Solar eclipse is a definite thing because the longitude difference between Sun and Rahu is 1 degree 24 minutes only. The limit of solar eclipse is 18.4 degree to 15.4 degree. So solar eclipse is a must. So it satisfies the 0.7. See, this is the Rahu position at Jyeshtha. This is Ketu position at Mrigashirsha. And see, you can see Sun, Moon, Rahu. Rahu and Sun, the longitude difference is 1.5 degrees only. So definitely it satisfies. You see, this is a zodiac thing. Mesha, Rishabha, all 12 zodiac sign. And these are all the nakshatra, Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Mrigashirsha, which are situated. In each zodiac sign, 2.25 nakshatra will be there. So like that, I have drawn the diagram. So this is satisfied. Then coming to Jupiter, 214 degree 15 minutes. It is in conjunction with Anuradha Nakshatra. That is, Anuradha Nakshatra range is this. So in Vrichika zodiac sign, this range is here. So it is in Vrichika zodiac sign in Anuradha Nakshatra. So satisfies Vyasa's statement that Jupiter was nearer to Visakha. Visakhayaha samipastu sanaichara Brihaspati. That is the word expressed by Vyasa. So Brihaspati should be nearer to Visakha. Whether it is correct? Yes, Jupiter is in Anuradha Nakshatra. Visakha is immediate previous Nakshatra, very nearer to Visakha. So that point is satisfied. Then coming to next thing. Jupiter was in Vrichika zodiac sign and Rohini Nakshatra is exactly opposite. Like Sun and Moon, it aspected because Jupiter has 7th Drishti. I explained it. So it aspects Rohini Nakshatra. And Jupiter is in Vrichika zodiac sign, which is a Sthira Rasi, and aspected Mahara zodiac sign, which is a Chara Rasi. And thus Jupiter aspected Shravana Nakshatra. So 12 and 14 points are satisfied. You see, from Jupiter in Anuradha in Vrichchika zodiac sign, it aspected Rohini, which is 7 zodiac sign, 180 degrees apart. So exactly opposite. So it can aspect. And this is a Sthira Rasi and Makara is a Chara Rasi. I already told as Parasastra, Chara Rasi will aspect Sthira Rasi. So it is aspecting. That is correct. So all the 3 points of Jupiter are satisfied with my calculations. Now coming to Saturn. Saturn, my position is 2:30 degrees 51 minute in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. And it satisfies the statement of Vyasa that Saturn was placed nearer to Visakha. That is Visakhayaha Samipasto Sanaichara. And it also satisfies Vyasa and Karna's word that it was afflicting Rohini. Saturn has 7th Drishti and it is Jyeshtha Nakshatra and Vrichchika zodiac sign. So it can aspect. These 2 things I will explain. See, Sun is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, Visakha is here. Just 1 nakshatra apart. So Saturn is very close to Visakha Nakshatra. If it is here, I cannot say that it is close to Visakha. It is here, close to Visakha. And we cannot take Saturn here, Rohini Nakshatra, as some scholars thought. Because Saturn is exactly opposite to Visakha. We cannot, Vyasa couldn't tell if it is Saturn is in Rohini, he cannot tell that Saturn is near Visakha. And further, Vyasa told Saturn not only affects Rohini, it affects Praninam Adhikam. That it affects animals also. If we take that because it affects Rohini, it should be Rohini. Then if it affects animals, it should be in animal. Animals are in earth, Saturn in the sky. How can Saturn will be with animals? So we have to think that. So Saturn aspecting Rohini is the correct derivation. And another point of the 3rd point is Saturn is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra and in Vrichchika zodiac sign and 10th Drishti. I can explain 3, 7, 10 are the 3 Drishtis for Saturn. So from Vrichchika, Simha is the 10th zodiac sign. So and Mahana, Purva Palguna and Uttara Palguna were in the 10th zodiac sign. So by its 10th Drishti, it aspected Purva Palguna and Uttara Palguna. So it is nearer to Visakha, aspecting Rohini, aspecting Purva Palguni. All the 3 points of Saturn were well satisfied with my position of Saturn at Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Now coming to Mars. Mars has 5 points. More number of points is for Mars. My derivation is 206 degree 56 minute 59. That is almost 200 degree 57 minute. That is 3 degree 3 minute away from Vrichchika zodiac sign, just before that Vrichchika zodiac sign. It satisfies the Karna statement that Mars was praying and to be associated and come together with Anuradha. So Mars should be just before Anuradha. So here you can see, Mars is here and Anuradha is here, next nakshatra, Visakha. So it is fastly moving towards Anuradha. So it is also satisfied. And Mars was in Tula and Makara was 4th zodiac sign. So Mars has 4th Drishti and hence it can affect Shravana Nakshatra. But what Vyasa mentioned, he used the word Vyavasthita. Vyavasthita means Mars is not at Shravana, it stayed apart. Not at Shravana, but somewhere distance from Shravana Nakshatra. That is the meaning of Vyavasthita. Hence, Mars should not be at Shravana or nearer to Shravana. Here, Mars is situated here and Shravana Nakshatra is here. So, it is away from Shravana Nakshatra. By its 4th Drishti, it aspected Shravana Nakshatra. So, that is also satisfied. Then, Mars is afflicting Magha Nakshatra. Mars is in Tula zodiac sign and it is a Chara Rasi and Simha is Sthira Rasi. So, Chara Rasi can aspect Sthira Rasi. So, it can affect the Magha Nakshatra which is situated in the Simha zodiac sign, which is a Sthira Rasi. See, you can see. See, Mars is here and it is Sara Rasi. So, it is Sthira Rasi. So, it can aspect this Rasi and Magha Nakshatra. Thus, that is also satisfied. The 4th point is it should affect Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Already I explained that Sun is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So, Mars cannot go retrograde. That is upward and backward movement. unless it is 163 degree away from sun. We have already derived sun's position at Jyesha Nakshatra as per Sri Krishna's base. So Mars cannot go retrograde at Jyesha Nakshatra at the same point where sun is situated. It should be 163 degree difference should be there to go retrograde. So it is not retrograde by Vakra. It is acting cruelly. Cruel action is the meaning for that Vakra word. So third nakshatra is Jyesha Nakshatra from Visakha, and I have already explained as per Kumaraswamyam, there is third aspect, Nakshatra aspect for Mars, so it affected. So all the 4 points of Mars is satisfied. Fifth point I will explain in the last. Now coming to Venus. Venus is 199 degree 26 minutes in conjunction with Swadhi Nakshatra in Tula zodiac sign, and the difference of longitude between Sun and Venus was 32 degree 41 minute. It is acceptable because the limit of elongation for Venus, that is longitude difference between Sun and Venus, should be 45 to 47 degree. So it is acceptable. Just 20 days back, Venus was in Kanya zodiac sign, and by its seventh drishti, they aspected Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra. Here, Vyasa used the word Samudikshate. That is, Venus looked attentively at Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra. It looked, it is not stayed there. So Venus has only one drishti, that is seventh drishti, seventh aspect, seventh view. So it should be in Kanya zodiac sign. But one point is something there. Venus is situated here. It is 35 to 35.75 degrees. So it is acceptable elongation. But I am saying 20 days back, it is in Kanya zodiac sign. It aspected Uttara Bhadrapada. But the sentence is in present tense. It will not give past 20 days past. How I have to explain that? I have to explain no. Otherwise, I am not correct. So in that aspect, Panini, he wrote some 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years before. He helped me. Panini's Astadhyayi, the grammar text of Sanskrit, in the third chapter, third Adhyaya, 131 Sudra, it mentions a verb of present tense can also denote an incidence of recent past and near future. That is within 1 or 2 months. So Panini has helped me to derive Venus position. Thank you. And Mercury is in 220 degree 24 minute in conjunction with Anuradha Nakshatra in Vrichika zodiac sign. The difference in longitude between Sun and Moon is 14 degree 46 minute only. The limitation of elongation is 18 degree to 28 degree. That is, the difference of longitude from Sun and Mercury should be within 18 degree to 28 degree. It is only 14 degree 46 minute. So it is satisfied. So Mercury is situated in Anuradha Nakshatra. From Sun, it is 14.75 degree only. So it is satisfied. And 1 or 2, 3 points only. I can finish. Lunar eclipse at Kartika month, 13 days before Amavasya and solar eclipse. That point should be satisfied. And this is the position 13 days before solar eclipse and Amavasya, the positions of the Graha. I have derived. This is Sun. Exactly Sun 180 degree difference is Moon. That's why it is Paurnami. Sun's light directly goes there and hit and back and reflected towards Earth. So we are seeing full moon. That's why if it is moon here, we cannot see this aspect which is lighted by Sun. We can see only dark aspect. That is sorry, new moon or Amavasya. So it is exactly opposite 180 degree. Rahu and Ketu will be always 180 degree opposite. Using bangles as an example, I have shown. So this Ketu is situated here, moon is situated here, and the difference of longitude is only 11.5 degrees. What is the limitation for lunar eclipse? It is 12.2 degree. So it is only 11 degree 37 minute or 38 minute. But on 5th June 2020, even though difference is 14.5 degree, and on 5th July 2020, 15.25 degree, there occurred partial lunar eclipse. Though limit is here, even with this degree, there occurred lunar eclipse. My difference is only 11 degree 38 minute. So definitely there occurred lunar eclipse. So that is also satisfied. And coming to the month and season. Sri Krishna went to peace mission in the Kaumadi Masa, Revati Nakshatra, Saraddante, Kimakame. Kaumadi Masa means Kartika month. War started in Margasirsa month. Margasirsa Pushya month is the Hemanta Ritu. And Kartika month is the end part of Sarad Ritu. So, exactly correct. Kartika month only Sri Krishna went, and it is Sarad Ritu, end part of Sarad Ritu. And forthcoming within 20 or 20 days, the Hemanta Ritu is going to come. So, that satisfies point number 1. And the month is, since Sri Krishna went to peace mission in Kartika month and war started in Margasirsa month, that also satisfied. So, point number 1 is satisfied. And the last is the most important thing. A very rare conjunction of Graha. On the day of end of Amavasya Tithi, there occurred a rare conjunction of 7 Graha in Vrichika zodiac sign. Sun, Moon, Rahu, that is ascending node of Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Mars, all the 7 Graha, they are almost in zodiac. That is, Mars is just 3 degrees away. So I am using all the other 6 Graha are exact in Vrichika zodiac sign. Mars is just 3 degrees away. So they are all in Vrichika zodiac sign. Karna Parva, that is 15 days after war, it mentioned that these 7 Mahagraha who are in conjunction slowly removed from the conjunction. They are going away from the conjunction. So before that, what it means? Before that, there are conjunction of the 7 Mahagraha. That was the inference. So how it is occurred? See, this is the positions of the Graha on the Kartika Amavasya day, just 1 or 2 days before the start of war. And you see, Moon, Rahu, Sun, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and Mars, all are in Vrichika zodiac sign. Total congested, all 7 Graha here. There should be this much space is wasted. Ketu should be 180 degree away. So it is correct if it is here. Venus is just 20 degree, 10 degree, 10, 15 degree away from this Vrichika zodiac sign. But all the 7 Graha are in Vrichika zodiac sign. That is one bad effect. And there is Mars is entering into the Vrichika zodiac sign. Why Mars is important? This Vrichika zodiac sign is ruled by Mars. The god of this, Devata of this Vrichika zodiac sign is Mars, Sevvai, Ankaraka. Ankaraka is the Graha for war. You should understand. He is the Chanadipati. He is the commander-in-chief. So, he is for war. So, along with Mars, all the 7 Graha are in Vrichika zodiac sign. And Vrichika zodiac sign is ruled by Mars. It is a sign for war. So, war occurred. Further, it is Raga-grasta Surya Grahana. Because Ragu only eclipsed sun, not Ketu. So, Rahu is more powerful. If the Rahu Grahana is more powerful, more damaging than Ketu Grahana. So, all these effects caused the war. All 7 Graha in one Vrichika zodiac sign, that is a war sign, and Mars is also with that, and Ragu-grasta Surya Grahana. So, it caused the war. You can see, this is another position of the Graha in 2019, 26th December. That is at the time the Corona broke out in China. See, there is Ketu-grasta Surya Grahana. All 6 Graha are in Dhanush zodiac sign. See, Sun, Moon, Ketu, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury. Venus is just far away, but Mars is well away, 30 degrees away. So, Mars is not there. And besides, Dhanush is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is knowledge, wisdom, and welfare of the people. So, because the Grahana occurred, all the Graha are in Dhanush zodiac sign, the welfare of the people, the happiness of the people affected, and education is affected, because Mars is well far away and it is not Vrichika zodiac sign. So, war didn't happen. Even though there are India-China war like situation, war didn't happen because of this. We suffered 2 years because of this. Even this is a little bit sparse, whereas this one is more congested. And it is Ragagrasta in the Virichiga zodiac sign. Mars is with it, and there Mars is the Var Graha, and Virichiga is the Var Rasi. So war occurred. Further, I have to explain only one point, that Mars point, fifth point. In the Salya Parva, that is on the 18th day of war, Vyasa wrote that Mercury, Mars, and Venus are in conjunction. They are situated behind Pandava and opposite to Kaurava. That is the thing. So you see, Mars and Venus and Mercury are in conjunction. Venus in 18 days would have moved here. So Mars would have moved here, Mercury. So all three are in conjunction in the Virichiga zodiac sign. So this I have already explained. Mercury cannot go beyond 18 degree, 28 degree from Sun. Venus cannot go beyond 45 to 47 degree. So Mars also should be very nearer to Sun, because it should be it is already in conjunction with Mercury and Venus, which cannot go much away from Sun. If you see our astrology Jataka, Sun and Moon, Sun, Mercury, Venus will travel once. All the three go round in the same thing. Yes, a one. So we can understand. And further, cleverly used Veda Vyasa this sentence. See, he mentioned Mercury, Mars, and Venus are behind Pandava. So they are supporting Pandava. They are opposite to Kaurava. Venus is for victory. Mars is Senadipati for war. And Mercury for knowledge. So knowledge, victory, and Senadipati is with Pandava. And they are acting against Kaurava. So Kaurava will be defeated. Pandava will win the war on the 18th day. That was symbolically, in an indirect way, Vyasa expressed. We should enjoy that sloka also. So with this, today's lecture I am going to conclude, because other 3 points, for want of time, I will explain in the next session. So what is my conclusion is, 42nd year before Kali Yuga beginning, satisfy the astronomical events described. That is all the 23 points. I will explain the 3 points in the next session. That is the positions of the Graha, Sun, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, and the occurrence of lunar eclipse followed by solar eclipse at 13 days interval are well satisfied within the same month of Kartika, as described in Mahabharata text of Vyasa Vyasa, all satisfied with the year 42nd year before Kali Yuga. So 42nd year before Kali Yuga is the year of Mahabharata war. That is 41st years before, 41 years before Kali Yuga, 42nd year. And 5163 years before present at 2021, or we can say in another way, 8,63,959th year of Dwapara Yuga, or somebody if want in BCE, I can express 3143 BCE. I have analyzed data for 2301 years, that is 4301 BCE to 2000 BCE. So in these 2 sessions, I will explain all this Mahabharata history and the 5 important scientific fields, and the importance of corroboration with them, and 36 plus years gap, and astronomical events, 26 events, and also the method of derivation through astronomical constant, astronomical and trigonometric mathematical calculations, as described in our ancient astronomical texts of Bharat, which are scientific, well established, and gave correct result for more than 1000 years. But to calculate based on that is not an easy job. If you use software, the computer will calculate, and you have to type just within a minute, you will get the Graha positions. But doing this, it is time consuming, it is knowledgeable. We should have in trigonometric calculation knowledge, astronomy, astrology, everything. And the Graha positions and eclipse occurs or satisfaction of actual textual descriptions. And the date of Mahabharata is 42nd year before beginning of Kali Yuga. In the next session, I will explain the remaining 3 points. That is Bhishma Buddhi, moon rise at 14th day of war, after sunset, Balarama's Tirtha Yatra, and analyzing and proving the date 42nd year before Kali Yuga, and discussion followed by conclusion. With that, I will complete the 3rd part, and with that, I will complete the lecture on date of Mahabharata war. I wholeheartedly express my heartfelt thanks to Sangam Talks, the staffs, faculties, and management, and also the founder, sir, who is listening my lecture. I am very happy that he is with me, and all the dignitaries and also experts who listened to my lecture. I wholeheartedly express my thanks. Nandri, Dhanyavadaga, thank you. Thank you very much.
I was really surprised. Most surprising is an eye specialist who is normally should be so far away from mathematics and astronomy is so involved in astronomy and astrology also. So, and how you managed to put all this together? How many years did it take for you to do this? And are you planning to do anything more like for Ramayana also? This is the question I want.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, it took me nearly 2 years. But I have already known in my school days the trigonometric calculations and everything. And these astronomical calculations I read in the year 2005 and 6. Because this Dhanur symbolic expression, replica of Dhanur into trigonometry, that I wrote an article in Bharatiya Bhautik Sampada and Science Park in the year 2007 itself. So I already learned all those things. Just I applied all these things in 1 year, and I read, for example, the Mercury and Venus position. That is how to calculate Mercury and Venus position. That is expressed in Laghu Bhaskariyam by Bhaskara, just in 4 lines, 2 sloka. But for that, the author explained it in English for 8 pages, nearly 8 pages. But to understand that, it took me 16 hours, more than 16 hours. So I read it, I slowly I understood each step by step. So I did a lot of work on that. I put much hours on that. After that only I come to a conclusion. So it is, at the end part, it is only 2 years, but I gained knowledge in those things in the past also. And second thing is, for dating Ramayana, see, for Mahabharata, we are having this Mahabharata text of 1 lakh sloka with archaeological findings also all there, Dwaraka, Hastinapura, and Shenoli, and Kurukshetra, and many other things. But Ramayana, we don't have any archaeological thing. And epigraphic evidence also not much for Ramayana. We have epigraphic evidence for Mahabharata, excellent. Many epigraphic evidence, especially for Kali Yuga date, because Mahabharata date is very closely within few decades of Kali Yuga beginning. We have more than 650 inscriptions that were dated in Kali Yuga that prove Kali Yuga in 3101 BC1. Based on that, we can derive Mahabharata date. And chronology is there. All Purana describe the chronology of Magadha kingdom, Ikshvaka kingdom, and Pandava dynasty from Mahabharata war up to Gupta dynasty. So these are all the plus things for Mahabharata, whereas we are lacking all these facts in Ramayana. So we cannot have, because as per exact Purana, Ramayana happened in Treta Yuga, at the fag end of Treta Yuga. Even in Mahabharata, for Narada, Sri Narayana mentioned that I will take birth as Rama at the junction of Treta and Dwapara Yuga. I will take birth as Krishna in the junction of Dwapara and Kali Yuga. So this Dwapara Yuga is 8,64,000 years. So it is must be before that, Rama's avatara. So we cannot have that much knowledge in this Kali Yuga. Our knowledge is very limited. So we cannot. So to derive Ramayana date is not possible. What is not possible by us, we have to accept honestly. That is the thing, correct thing. We are very ordinary. I am saying myself. I am a very ordinary person with little knowledge, so I cannot derive Ramayana date perfectly as done by Mahabharata. That is, I accept that.
But in Ramayana also, sir, Rama's horoscope has been mentioned, yes, and sir, his movements down south, various steps, and the day the war started, the day it finished, everything is already given.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, here we are not saying you must do it with the old method. You can use the computer and do it, Nirayana system. Yes.
So, okay, sir. One thing I want to explain, sir. This Graha position will repeat. All Graha revolves in an elliptical circle. Okay. This Graha position at particular point, either 4,000 years or 10,000 years or 50,000 years, the Graha position will repeat. So we are having only Rama's Jataka. That is, Valmiki mentioned that 5 graha are Ucha. I read the book, the Date of Sri Rama, in that everything is explained. But that graha position can happen within this 8,64,000 years many times. So based on that, we cannot derive. See, astronomy is only one part. See, if all these 26 points, if they are satisfied Mahabharata war at 2021, the present year, can we take it is a Mahabharata date at this year or in 1947? There was an host calamity. We cannot take. So, astronomy should be supported by epigraphy, archaeology, literature, chronology, everything. Astronomy alone cannot decide date. So, that also it is repeatable even, all the positions of the graha. So, that is our limitation, I am saying. But if some scholar comes with a good thing, if it is correct, I will ready to accept.
Dr. Raja, again I congratulate you for your
Thank you, sir.
excellent work, sir.
Thank you, Professor.
You have taken the bow and arrow theory to trigonometry. Trigonometry is ours, the Indian discovery. You have exposed that one. And regarding the Mahabharata war, you have mentioned the 7 planets in Vrishika are in conjunction. And the same similarity in 2019, the coronavirus attacked this world. A very good comparison and excellent one. I am having one question.
Okay, please, sir.
Sir, some concept is there. The Rahu and the Ketu are disintegrated planets. And they are moving in opposite direction. So it is not mere shadow, it is disintegrated planets. What is your opinion, sir?
Sir, in ancient astronomical texts,
Yes, sir.
they are mentioned Chandrapada. That is the foot of Chandra. And they are also mentioned as Chaya Graha. So, as per modern astronomy or our Hindu astronomy, it is a cutting point, imaginary point at the celestial sky at the orbit of the moon around the earth. So, maybe in ancient days, they maybe have shape and form, but we don't know. We have no proof for that in the astronomical text or literature. So, if you say any proof, we will consider that. But so far, I have read many astronomical texts and also many literature. I have not found any proof that they have shape and form. All the astronomical texts mention that it is only a Chaya Graha and also Chandrapada. Even Aryabhatta and Surya Siddhanta mentioned it as Chandrapada. That is the 2 foot of Pada means feet. So 2 feet of moon. That is the thing. In that way only they mention.
Another aspect is you told about the Mars. It is the Lord for war.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, it is Lord for blood also.
Yes, yes.
So during Mahabharata, lot of bloodshed sets.
Yes, yes. When there is war, there will be bloodshed.
Yeah.
So it is an additional point. Excellent point. Thank you for the compliment.
So you made the comparison of Rahu Ketu during Mahabharata time.
Okay, sir.
And also this 2019.
Okay, sir.
During Mahabharata time, the Rahu was in Vrishika.
Okay.
The Ketu was in the opposite direction.
Yes, yes.
Now 2019, the Rahu was in Rishabha or Mithuna. So the Ketu was in the opposite.
Yes, in Dhanush. In Moola Nakshatra.
There is no bloodshed. There is no bloodshed.
Okay.
But only the virus, the secret war.
Yes. Biological war, we can tell.
Yes, sir.
Even.
So this is, I want to share with you the comparison.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
the
sir.
two.
Thank you.
Thank you for the two compliments, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And I would like to add to Professor Raman's question, till how long this nakshatra is going to carry on, so we know that when it will end.
Already we have overcome with vaccination. Thanks to the government, we have crossed 100 crores vaccination. Though then definitely there will be herd immunity. Herd immunity, if nearly 50% of the populations are immunized, we will have herd immunity. Even though other people are not immunized, we will have herd immunity that will protect us. So now even in my medical college, there are many people who even vaccinated, even professors, medical professors, they suffered from corona, but it is not that much bad effect. There is no breathing difficulty, no need to admit in ICU, no need for oxygen. So with the vaccination, we will be safe. Some influenza virus will come, cold. Like that, corona will come and go. So from Pushya month, you can say Pushya is auspicious. From January 14th, there won't be any problem with corona. We have already overcome.
That is
Somebody says some South Africa, some new virus, that will go on. Even after 100 years, they will tell from Mars, some virus is coming. That is corona type of virus on a mutation. So it will affect, it is coming through one missile. Like that, they will go on. But we have overcome, no problem. In Pushya month, from Pushya month, there won't be any problem. I am very confident on that.
Thank you. That's very heartening to know, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Dr.
Thank
Raja,
you.
yes, I want to tell about somewhere over the Lord Rama dating that Mrs. Saroj Balaji and Pushpin Bhatnagar has done some research about the dating of the Lord Rama. That is something around the 7,112 years before. And they have shown some correlation related to the geology and some carbon dating effect. They have
carbon dating on what success? On what? Carbon dating on some biological thing?
They have got them some grains, fossils grain in the Dankarai Gufas.
Okay.
So from that dating, they have found out that it was 7,000 years before. So can we collaborate along with them so that we can come?
See, in geology,
yeah,
they will give range as a millennium. They used to say from 5,000 to 6,000 years, because the sediment, if it is 1 millimeter, for that they will give thousands of years for geology. Okay, so based on geology, we cannot exactly fix Ramayana date. And how can we know that this carbon dating material is used by Ramayana characters, Ramayana historical persons? There is no proof for that. No, that carbon dating material may be there, but how can we prove that it was used by either Rama or Krishna, Rama and Sita Mata, or Ravana or Lakshman or any other Hanumanji? We have no proof. No, there that material may be there. So that carbon dating is somewhat crude method. Now thermoluminescence method is the exact method. So we have to apply thermoluminescence method. So far our science cannot go beyond 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 years. But as my opinion, Ramayana happened some lakhs and lakhs of years before present. That is at least 8,64,000. See, initially, what they told all the scholars, that any date cannot be go beyond 2000 BC, because according to James User chronology, the world was started in the year 4004 BC, October month. So 2000 years for Great Deluge and Ice Age. So the human history cannot go beyond 2000 BC, just 4,000 years. But now fossils are discovered at 28,000, 50,000 years. So now science was slowly developing. So one day will come that they can find out the fossils of 10 lakhs years before that. Then only at that time we can assess what is Rama's period. So we have to wait science to develop to that extent and it should cross all the limitations. Till then, my humble opinion is I cannot derive Ramayana date. Yes, I have done for Mahabharata date.
And there is one more question, sir.
Please, sir.
regarding
Please, sir.
that according to the dating of the Ved Vyas ji, there's a difference between the 36 years from the date of the Mahabharat war and the Nirvana of Lord Krishna. So
What
do you
he
think?
says, how many years?
36 years.
36 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Means the Kali Yuga was started from at the time when the Lord Krishna takes the Nirvana.
Yes, correct.
So
not Nirvana, when he went to Vaikunta.
Vaikunta.
Because only we can take Nirvana or Mukti. Sri Krishna is the God. He can only go anywhere else. So he can go Vaikunta. Okay.
But
all Purana mentioned that.
Years.
That is acceptable.
According to you, it's a 42 years.
Yes. 41 years before that.
41
Say that I will explain. In Mahabharata, there is a word. Kasyachit Tvadakalasya. In the Mausala Parva, in the first 3 adhyaya, Sri Krishna mentioned this Yatava, that this 36 years of curse of Gandhari has come. So, it will, he cursed that Yadava would be destroyed after 36 years. So, he asked all the Yadava to do pilgrimage in the seashore holy places and to stay for some time Prabhasapatam. So how long they lived, we don't know. But they did pravas in the holy places, in the seashore places, and stayed for some time in the Prabhasapatana. And after that, these rishis come, and because of the rishi Shaba, they fight with each other. So some time we do have happened between 36 years. So it clearly mentioned in the Mausala Parva, that is Kasyachit Tvadakalasya. Kasyachit sometime more than these 36 years. So that is something. And second thing about that explanation is I am saying that through astronomy alone, you cannot derive exactly Mahabharata date. This is astronomical date. But archaeology, epigraphy, and literature, and chronology, it will favor more towards 3138 or 3140 only. So, astronomy has certain limitations. There may be minute error. But as per astronomy, this is 3143, but that is acceptable. Only 5 years are difference. 41 year, you are saying 5 years for 5,100 years is 0.1% error. Will you not accept that? Okay, only 0.1% error. That also I explained based on Veda Vyasa's words, Kasyachit Tvadakalasya. So, I explained, and also, even if it is an error, it is only 0.1% error. But through astronomical calculations, that is the year where Rahu is in Jyesha Nakshatra. Rahu crosses one zodiac sign in 1.5 years. If you allow 5 years, then it will be in Simha zodiac sign. There won't be any solar eclipse. How can I explain that? So that is my limitation, difficult. So it should be in Jyesha Nakshatra.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I wonder if you have listened to a lecture by a lady who was a Secretary Government of India on the dating of the Mahabharata. I attended this talk. This was in the India Habitat Center in Delhi,
okay, sir.
In which she used the same, somewhat similar evidences, astronomical, geological, geographical, the flora, fauna, that is zoology, botany.
Saroj Bala madam.
I'm not, I think, and
maybe Saroj Bala madam only.
Okay. She was the Secretary Government of India.
Retired. I don't know, but he did a good work. And using fauna and she derived a date at 3138 or 3140.
There was a computer scientist sitting with her doing an extrapolation of the astronomical signs at that time.
Okay,
so she has given that somewhat. So I wonder if that is the standard now, that dating. Number one. Number two, can we use this? Why don't we press for using our Yuga calendar for a present instead of the Gregorian,
Yes.
is it possible to switch on to a scientific, rational, systematic calendar based on our yugas and use it in present day?
Sir, actually, this Bharatian calendar system is the best calendar system. It is scientific. It is closely associated with nature. For example, the Chaitra month is the first month. It is the Vasanta Ritu. There is seasonal changes. So it is based on Vasanta Ritu and also the Earth's entry into the one zodiac sign. So it is astronomical, natural and celestial. We can definitely say on the Suryamana, Sauramana calculation, when it is Chaitra month, sun entered in the first degree of Mesha zodiac sign. So that exact calculation is there. But January 1, the sun may be in 25 degree or 24 degree or 20 degree or 30 degree also. There is no exact thing. Every year it repeats on Chaitra 1 Sauramana calendar. So it is exact thing. That is one thing. So on the Gregorian calendar is changed. That is 10 days advanced from Julian calendar. For Julian calendar, when it was started in 46 BCE, they allotted date for 445 days. In Julian calendar, October 4th, the next day become October 15th. I don't know how many times they have changed. We know only 2 times. So that calendar system itself is defective. Using that calendar system to date Mahabharata, it will not give correct result. Whereas our Bharatian calendar system, which uses exact thing, is better. There is no leap year in Bharatian calendar system. Have you heard of any leap year? They are confused in 2000 AD whether to give 365 days or 366 days. They couldn't decide in the last minute till last minute. But there is no confusion in Bharatian calendar. We don't have any leap year. How it is managed? Because when the sun entered into the first degree, after sunset, that day will be added to the previous year. If it enters into the first degree before sunset, it will be the first day of the year, next year. So by that scientific and also associated with nature and astronomical event, our ancestors cleverly managed that thing. There is no leap year. So the best calendar system is Bharatian calendar system. Best system is Yuga calendar system, as you pointed out. So we have to request our government to adopt this. It is the best system.
Vishalji says, Dr. Raja, that the Nyaya Sutra 5.1.2, it says that, it's a shloka in Sanskrit, and I don't know if I pronounce it properly.
You can read the English translation.
Yeah, it says, in applying drishtant, that is analogy or simile, one may employ a homogeneous or a heterogeneous illustration. That is shloka in Sanskrit.
Okay.
An opponent may generate a fallacious opposition either by showing another aspect of homogeneity or heterogeneity. Anyone employing such fallacies is worthy of rebuke. Arundhati Vashishta theory is based on visual astronomy observations, and this the Nimit aspect of Arundhati Vashishta observation is irrelevant to this theory. And using this logic, the date 5561 BCE stands strong as date of Mahabharat war. Dr. Raja has not provided any such special scientific evidence in his dating. So why is this conflicting with the date of Mahabharata, which is 3143?
Okay. This 5561 date, because he mentioned it is entirely based on the Arundhati Vashishta. That is Arundhati walking in front of Vashishta. That is the only point for 5561. Okay. Based on a single event, we cannot derive Mahabharata date. Based on just astronomy alone, we cannot derive Mahabharata date. That I have shown. So he told me that I have not given any scientific thing. I have explained this, for example, what he requests scientific. That is genetic theory or cosmology. If there is a debate, I will explain that genetic theory what proposed is entirely wrong. Totally wrong. And also this geology, that also I can prove it is wrong. But my point is these trigonometric calculations and astronomical calculations are not scientific? It is scientific. Because our ancestors has given. Without trigonometric calculations, how the software works to derive the positions of the graha? The software using the same trigonometric calculations also. Then you accept software as scientific. When I use manually, you are saying I am unscientific. That is not fair part. Second thing is 5561 is based on only that theory, Arundhati Vasishtha. So far, our ancient astronomical texts didn't specify the velocity of Arundhati or Vasishtha. So I will debate that point when it is the correct time to debate. Not I won't reveal all my points about genetic theory, geology, and sea level rising, and also Arundhati Vasishtha. Only in the debate I will give all the correct reply to all these things. And my derivation is not only scientific, it is corroborative and coherent and harmonious with other scientific fields. Don't you think archaeology is not science? Deciphering epigraphy is not science. How can you say it is all not science? Archaeology is not science. Thermoluminescence is not science. Carbon dating is not science. Then what else will be the science? I am asking. So it is a wrong thing to attribute that I am unscientific. And other thing I will, in the debate, I will explain all these things, not now. I will reserve for it in the debate. Okay.
The retrograde motions of Jupiter and Saturn with Vishakha at the center, plus retrograde motion of Mars between Chitra, I think it's Chaitra / Swati, can be seen during 5561 BCE plus or minus 1 year. This bold theory of Vakra motions of Mahabharata text followed by its validation via 7 specific planetary observations by Nilesh Neelkant Oak has given 500 plus observations to prove Mahabharata war as 5561 BCE. So how correct is traditional date of Mahabharata war?
So first of all, I want to explain one thing. There are no 500 astronomical events. See, we cannot use comparison and simile as an astronomical event. When Karna died, Vyasa told his face is like full moon. When Drona died, his face was like full moon. So Drona died on the 15th day, Karna died on the 17th day. So on both days, there cannot be a full moon. So it is only simile, it is only a comparison. His face was like bright and shiny and with a smiley face. That was expressed by Vedavyasa. So all similes and comparisons cannot be taken as astronomical events. There are no 500 astronomical events, first of all. That we have to understand. And Mars cannot go retrograde when Sun is at Jyesha Nakshatra. If you won't accept Sun at Jyesha Nakshatra, then you are questioning Sri Krishna's words itself. Sri Krishna mentioned Amavasya at Chakra Devata, Chakra Nakshatra, that is Jyesha Nakshatra. And Mars scientifically will go retrograde only if it is 163 degrees away from Sun. So Mars cannot go retrograde when Mars is at Jyesha Nakshatra along with Sun. So that itself wrong. And Jupiter cannot go retrograde 125 degrees away from Sun. And what Vyasa says, Jupiter is near Visakha. Visakha is immediate 2 nakshatra from Jyeshtha, just less than 30 degrees. So Jupiter also cannot go retrograde. Jupiter, the difference should be 125 degrees minimum. So that there is no retrograde movement for Mars and Jupiter during the year of Mahabharata, because Sun is at Jyesha Nakshatra and Saturn and Mars and Jupiter are near Visakha. Why I am including Mars? Because I have told in the Salya Parva that Mars is in conjunction with Mercury and Venus. And Mercury and Venus will always go along with the Sun. If you assess in any almanac, it always with the Sun. Just maximum limitation is 47 degrees for Venus, 28 degrees for Mercury. So the Mars should be less than 30 degree from sun or 40 degree. So it requires 163 degree modern science. So it cannot go retrograde. So there is no retrograde movement for Mars, Jupiter or Saturn during Mahabharata war. That clearly proved as per the statement of Veda Vyasa, not mine. Thank you.
Repeatedly you have told about the Ujjain, Shalivan's era.
Yes.
So can we compare to the other calendar also, like the Nakshatra, Saptarishi calendar is also there. So if there are the different dates are given in the Puran also. So the chronological dates also match according to the astronomy and astrology or not? Have you checked that?
Say Saptarishi era, it for 100 years it will stay in one nakshatra. Okay. So in the year 3176 to 3076, as per Kali Yuga Raja Vrittanta, it is in Magha nakshatra. When Yudhishthira left the earth, it went to Magha to next nakshatra. So based on that also we can calculate, and this is calculated by Varakimikara, and he says 2526 years after 3076, the Cyrus era started. We know the Parasiga Persian chronology, and Cyrus II came to power and became an emperor in 550 BCE. Based on that also, it matches 3706 BCE, at which year Yudhishthira went to heaven. So that is also we can assess through Saptarishi era, through Vikramaditya era, through Salivagan era, everything we can, in corroboration with this date, we can exactly fit this date with those era. That is my opinion. Okay.
First is, just as we had a problem with the Saraswati being termed as a mythological river, mentioned about 200 times in the Rig Veda, we corroborated it with the Avestan literature. In the Zend Avesta, it is mentioned.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, is there any corroboration available in Avestan literature?
In which literature?
The Avestan, the earlier Persian.
Zend Avesta.
Avestan.
The Persian guru who wrote Zend Avesta.
Okay, now, the second one, you quoted Bhaskara. Is it Bhaskara 1 or Bhaskara 2? Mathematicians.
Yes.
And how come Aryabhatta being an astronomer and Bhaskara being mathematicians, Aryabhatta is not coming into this? Number 3, out of all these available eras, why did the government of India choose? Why did we choose this Saka era, which is followed by the government of India?
Pardon me, I didn't read Avesta literature, Zend Avesta, but I have read Rig Veda and I have noted down where, in what are all the places Saraswati river is mentioned. And I have also fully read the Mahabharata text. In the Salya Parva, Balarama Tirtha Yatra, he did it along the Saraswati river. There is full detail about the Saraswati river, except at 2 places. Majority of the places, Vyasa described that Saraswati is in full swing. And recently, one ISRO scientist who is from Rajasthan, he gave an excellent lecture in YouTube channel. You read it. He proved that Saraswati is not myth, it is a real river. It's a 50-minute talk, excellent talk. If you have time, you please read it. So Saraswati is not myth, it is a real river. It is a worshipable river as per Rig Veda and also as per Mahabharata also. I have not read Zend Avesta, though that book is with me, but for want of time, because to read all these things, I have no time. So that I have not read. And the second question is, why Saka era is followed by government? Because Saka is the latest era, Salivagana Saka. See, in Kalidasa mentioned the Saka Karta, Yudhishthira and Vikrama and Salivagana. The third person, he will come very much later, 4 lakhs years after this. That's Bali and other thing. So the latest era is Saka era. That's why we are following. But in our almanac, government almanac itself, we are mentioning Vikrama era also. So there is, because Salivagana Saka, there are more than 20,000 inscriptions are there. And through astronomy and through inscriptions, proved that it started at the Kali Yuga 3179 year. Clearly, astronomical text mentioned 3179 Here he is the beginning of Salivagana Saka. And many inscriptions I have personally read, it mentions Salivagana era begin in 3179 here. That's why government is following. They are following Vikram era also. Okay. Bhaskaracharya is the author of Siddhanta Shiromani, and Bhaskara is author of Laghu Bhaskaryam and Mahabhaskaryam and the commentary on the Aryabhatta. And this Bhaskara is a disciple of Aryabhatta. But I have written a book on date of Aryabhatta. In that I have proved that Aryabhatta lived 360 years in the Kali Yuga. That is 2764 BCE. That is the birth of Aryabhatta. This Laghu and Mahabhaskarya wrote Bhaskara. He is either 522 Common Era or 624 Common Era. This Bhaskaracharya Siddhanta Shiromani is different. And this Bhaskara wrote Laghu Bhaskaryam and Mahabhaskaryam. That is not mathematical text. It is also astronomical text. Aryabhatta also astronomical text. But in the Aryabhattayam, the second chapter completely detail about the mathematical calculations. So on those days, astronomy and mathematics are not different. Both are combined together. Because without trigonometric calculations, they cannot estimate the Graha positions exactly, auspicious time. So they expressed all the mathematical calculations, including trigonometry and r sin theta and cos theta and versine theta values. So both they are both astronomical text and as well as mathematical text. But mathematical thing what they express is for used only for astronomical purpose. That much is the mathematical limitations in those texts. In Siddhanta Shiromani also there is Goladhyaya and Ganitadhyaya is there. Both are there.